This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z.
And nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over.
And it's all it is ultra bright, radiant, glowing wisdom.
I love that. Yeah, we got our quarantine beards going on. It was flames, man. Just to really, we did the full unplug, strip down. You know how when I do it.
Real chaos erupted inside a Manhattan federal courtroom on May 5th, 2025, as prosecutors played a never-before-heard audio recording linked to Jay-Z in the ongoing civil case against Sean Diddy Combs. Witnesses described Combs as visibly restless as the contents of the recording spilled out, bringing an unexpected twist to an already high-stakes trial. What started as a routine hearing suddenly felt like a bomb had been dropped, and just like that, Pandora's box pulled open, and Diddy, who's usually composed and confident, looked completely thrown off. But what exactly was in the tape, and why did it pull Jay-Z and even Will Smith, who are not even on trial, straight into the center of the storm?
I said people got heroes.
Yo, son!
I'm talking about you.
You talking about what you?
Heroes, but then you got that hero, that one hero. That's my brother Will Smith right here. Let's give him a round of applause. Happy Easter.
What's up, man? Family, what's the deal? What's happening, baby?
What's up, baby? I see we on you this quarantine pup talking to quarantine Will, and it's all it is ultra bright, radiant, glowing wisdom.
I love that. Yeah, we got our quarantine beards going on.
Today in a New York federal courtroom, Sean Diddy Combs told the judge he was, quote, a little nervous. The rap mogul's criminal trial began this morning. He is sex trafficking, racketeering, and more. The two sides are now in the process of selecting a jury of 12 plus alternates. Most of the prospective jurors acknowledge they're aware of Combs' case and also the allegations that span some 20 years.
The Manhattan courtroom that day was packed with faces from all walks of life. Cameras weren't allowed, but that didn't stop the buzz from building all morning. Reporters were whispering, lawyers were tense, and security was tighter than ever. Everyone knew something big was coming, but no one expected what came next. As Diddy sat at the defense table trying to keep his cool, the prosecution dropped a bombshell. They announced they'd be playing a leaked audio clip, one that had never been heard in court before. The room shifted and all eyes locked on Diddy, and then it started playing. The voice was unmistakable, but the content was even worse.
Joining us now, Joey Jackson, CNN legal analyst and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. There's a lot to unpack here. Joey, I want to start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it. It's long, where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
So based on the allegations, Jessica, good morning. Good to see you. I think that it certainly could be. Why do I say that? Now, he, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement.
Yeah.
He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that?
Within seconds, it became clear that the audio was connected to Jay-Z. While Jay-Z isn't officially part of this trial, this leak dragged him right into the center of it. In the clip, there were references to coded language, secret conversations, and what sounded like deep knowledge of behind-the-scenes efforts to influence the case. Whether Jay-Z knew he was being recorded or not, no one can say yet, but the implications were heavy.
Accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was sexually assaulted by both men at a Video Music Awards after party in 2000. In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, these allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? He added, my only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed.
And Diddy? He didn't say a word, but his face said plenty. His usual calm swagger was gone. He looked shaken, unsure.
We have to go.
Like a man who just realized the walls were closing in. Even his legal team leaned in, whispering fast and flipping through papers like they didn't see it coming either. What was supposed to be just another legal hearing had instantly turned into a firestorm, and everyone in that courtroom felt it.
But the world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to like discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I see them now. Some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop.
No one saw it coming, not even Diddy's own lawyers. The audio surfaced from inside prison walls, leaked to the press just days before the courtroom drama exploded. Sources claim it was handed over to federal investigators by someone close to Diddy's former circle, someone who'd had enough. What made this leak different was that it didn't just involve Diddy, it pulled Jay-Z, hip-hop, royalty straight into the fire. Now listen to the mind-blowing audio clip.
Tweet now, cause I'm in here. It's all good, you about to get out on bail. No, hey yo, check this out. Need you to reach out to the producer. Let these motherfuckers know there's a release date for that new Netflix movie. Alright, Pop. It's fucking crazy right now. Everybody out there quiet as a motherfucker, Yeah? Yeah, exactly. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still gonna have the last laugh. What about all these lawsuits though, Pop? Ain't none of them getting shit. I ain't worth nothing. Ain't got shit in my name.
The clip was raw, the voices were muffled but clear enough. Jay-Z's name came up more than once, and while he wasn't outright confessing to anything, the implications were strong. Words like clean up, redirect, and make sure this stays buried rang through the courtroom like alarm bells. If you ask me, the tone of the conversation was calm, too calm. It didn't sound like panic, it sounded like planning. Some people called it calculated, others said it was cold.
Because rape in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint, is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down, raped her, and that, of course, the allegation is that Mr. Combs did the same thing. And so if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors, and if true, right, you could pursue it criminally. Now, with respect to evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right, more than 24 years ago, but in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the...
And though Jay-Z never named Diddy directly, the way he talked, mentioning him, the old man, and Brooklyn, that left very little to guess. The room was stunned, and this wasn't just about wild parties or shady contracts anymore. It hinted at something bigger, something organized. Once the recording stopped, there was silence, the kind that says everything without a word being spoken.
Tweet now, cause I'm in here. It's all good, you about to get out on bail. No, hey yo, check this out. Need you to reach out to the producer. Let these motherfuckers know there's a release date for that new Netflix movie. Alright, Pop. It's fucking crazy right now. Everybody out there quiet as a motherfucker, Yeah? Yeah, exactly. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still gonna have the last laugh. What about all these lawsuits though, Pop? Ain't none of them getting shit. I ain't worth nothing. Ain't got shit in my name.
Instantly, the conversation outside the courtroom changed. People weren't just talking about Diddy anymore. They were asking if Jay-Z had been pulling strings too. Had he known? Had he helped? Whatever the truth, the tape shattered any hope Diddy had of keeping this clean. The stakes had just gone sky high.
The 13-year-old, and now removed her. So civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and we'll see what happens, or if the DA looks and investigates.
So what happens now?
So what happens now is this is simply a civil complaint. And in a civil complaint, it goes through the technical legal process. Now, the distinction, Jessica, between civil and criminal, of course, is that civil is for monetary damage.
If the audio unlocked the door, the lawsuits kicked it wide open. What started as rumors quickly turned into court documents, interviews, and confessions. Civil suits piled up against Diddy like bricks on his empire. One after another, people came forward, former assistants, ex-girlfriends, even former employees, each with disturbing stories. Allegations of sex trafficking, manipulation, and forced acts in exchange for loyalty were at the center of it all. The phrase Wild King Nights started trending online. Nights described as full of drugs, young women, and disturbing power games. According to Philip Pines, a former executive assistant, those parties weren't just wild, they were planned, rehearsed, and abusive. He claims Diddy used his status to control everyone in the room.
Those allegations, he's accused of forcing at least 3 women to engage in sex acts with him and at times with male prostitutes during parties known as freak-offs, which last for days. Combs faces spending the rest of his life in prison. CNN's Kara Scannell has been covering all of these developments for us. She's outside New York's federal court right now. So some of these prospective jurors already turned away. Kara, why?
Yeah, a number of jurors have been turned away. One woman, because she had seen that hotel surveillance video, she saw a still image of it where Combs is on camera kicking and dragging his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Now, the jurors said that she referred to it as damn.
The leaked audio made these claims feel even more real. It wasn't just shocking, it connected dots. Then there were the medical reports. Diddy was rushed to a hospital in the middle of the night. Talk of surgeries, secret conversations, and strange calls made during his checkups. Suddenly, it didn't feel like a random court drama. It felt like a chess game, and Diddy was starting to lose.
Allegations that this 13-year-old is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, suffered depression, etc. So now you go to fact-finding, right? Before that, just briefly, there was a demand letter sent. And a demand letter is a letter being sent by a lawyer saying, hey, I don't have to sue you. We can sit, we can mediate it. If we reach an agreement, it never sees the light of day. Jay-Z saying, I don't care about your demand letter. I look at it as blackmail. You want to sue me, sue me. You want to look at it criminally, look at it criminally, but it'll go through the fact-finding process. If a trial is necessary to determine the facts, that's what will happen, but it'll be deemed civil. No indication at this point as to whether or not any criminal investigation will.
The public responded with outrage. Social media erupted. Hashtags like Han surviving Diddy and Kyle exposed the empire started trending. Some fans were heartbroken, others said they'd seen it coming, but the loudest reaction of all was silence. From his former friends in high places, Ellen, Oprah, and even a few longtime collaborators said nothing, and that silence said a lot. Sean Combs' name was once the password, but now nobody wants to associate with it.
Evidence, and after a back and forth with the judge, he decided to excuse her for cause because she had formed an opinion on it. I mean, other jurors had been excused, one because the man had just started a new job and couldn't take off 8 weeks. Another juror was excused because he said he had a negative experience with law enforcement. But so far, 11 jurors have qualified to continue through this process, and the magic number here is 45. Once they hit 45 jurors, that is when the judge will have both the prosecutors and Combs' team do their peremptory strikes. That's where they can eliminate jurors for just about any reason until they get to 12 jurors and a number of alternate.
The story isn't just about what Diddy was accused of, it's about what the people around him allowed to happen for years, and how it all might finally be crashing down. And here's where things get really messy. The audio leak didn't just drag Jay-Z's name into the spotlight, it made people wonder if he was the one behind it. Was it released on purpose? Was Jay-Z trying to get ahead of something, or maybe send a ad
and sue as a result of this?
Yeah, and Jay-Z came back incredibly forcefully against these allegations and really singled out that attorney as well for being, I'm paraphrasing here, but greedy, saying he's out to get money, and calling that letter essentially blackmail.
Yeah, and in addition to that, Jessica, also suing the attorney, saying he's intimidating him, harassing him, etc. Now, demand letters are not new. What lawyers do is they send them out as a matter of protocol and practice so that you can expedite the process. At the same time, there's certain ethical standards that you have to use, and you have to have a good faith factual belief.
It wouldn't be the first time two powerful men in the industry stopped being allies and started looking like quiet enemies. Years ago, Jay-Z and Diddy were seen as unstoppable forces. They partnered, supported each other's brands, and moved in the same circles. But over time, that bond began to fade. Some say it was business, others whisper it was personal.
Now, you can argue this complaint was filed in October, right? Could have mentioned Jay-Z then. You didn't. Why? It was amended now to include him. Are the factual assertions true? Are they fact or fiction? Is it a money grab or not? All of that will be litigated in a court of law, but according to Jay-Z, this never happened, is pure fiction. It is a money grab, and he's fighting for his name, reputation, and certainly innocence and justice in his view, which is he didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, and you touched on a point, too, that I wanted to ask you about, which was that this was an amendment to
Yes.
this already existing lawsuit. What are people to take away from that, the fact that they're coming back and adding to this now with this?
Now, with this case blowing up, some believe Jay-Z might be trying to quietly distance himself. The audio felt careful, like someone talking just enough to protect himself, but not too much to get pulled in. And here's the part that really has people talking. What if Jay-Z is helping behind the scenes? It's just speculation for now, but when someone like him speaks or doesn't speak, it says a lot. He hasn't defended Diddy. He hasn't denied being involved. He's been silent. That silence feels heavy. Is Jay-Z trying to protect himself, or is he playing a much bigger game? Whatever the truth is, one thing's clear, he's no longer in the background. Whether he meant to or not, Jay-Z is now part of this storm, and the world is watching closely. Because this isn't just about Diddy or Jay-Z, it's about the system they both thrived in for decades.
Yeah, you know, Jessica, so it depends. That's also common. You could amend lawsuits, right, as a matter of course, and you do, to include certain factual allegations. The interesting thing to me, in terms of your question and the takeaway, if you had this information about Jay-Z, it happened allegedly in September of 2000, why not include it in the original complaint? What happened between October and now that necessitated you putting in, and it's a question of credibility. Was he celebrity A, right, as was noted in the October complaint? Is this pure fiction? And what's interesting in the complaint is he really, that is the lawyer, tries to tie Jay-Z to Mr. Combs in so many ways, right? Birds of a feather is the argument that he's making. You can make that argument. You need the facts to sustain it. Let's see if they come up with any facts.
All right.
Since the audio leak and lawsuits hit the headlines, the industry has been split. Some artists have gone quiet, completely silent. Others are choosing their words carefully. Nobody wants to get dragged into something this serious. A few brave voices have spoken up. Former employees, distant collaborators, but the big names, most of them are staying far away. No tweets, no comments, not even a "let's wait for the facts." Just silence.
Have gotten through. Some of them have seen the tape. One woman said she did see that hotel surveillance video. Others were familiar with the case. I mean, there were two women who said that they had been sexually abused, saying it happened decades ago, and they thought that they could look at the evidence in this case, which is about sexual assault, and view it fair and unbiased based on what comes into the courtroom. And one woman who is proceeding said she was arrested when she was 16 for shoplifting at Harry Potter's World at Universal Studios. The judge asked her what she stole. She said it was a wand. And then another juror who works for the Department of Corrections said that he pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor felony. And
legally, this could open the door for new investigations. If the leaked audio suggests a cover-up or conspiracy, prosecutors may have reason to dig deeper. More subpoenas, more raids, maybe even more arrests. The justice system doesn't care how many records you've sold or wars you've won. For fans, it's been a hard pill to swallow. Some feel betrayed. Others say they saw the red flags long ago. But everyone agrees this feels like a moment that could change hip-hop forever, because what's at risk here isn't just reputations. It's the very structure of power in the music world. These men weren't just artists, they were kingmakers. They decided who got in, who got left out, and who stayed silent.
as long as it takes to get to that 45 and to get through the strikes, the judge is hopeful that that could be concluded as soon as Wednesday, with opening statements in the case beginning next week and then the beginning of the evidence. So Combs has pleaded not guilty. He has said, his lawyers have said, that all of these allegations are the prosecutors trying to criminalize his sexual activity that they say was entirely consensual. Guys?
All right, Kara, appreciate it. Thank you. Brianna?
All right, let's talk about this now with entertainment attorney and former litigator Lisa Bonner. First, Lisa, I just want to get your reaction to some of what we learned so far. The judge granting a defense request to dismiss a prospective juror because she called the hotel surveillance video damning. Maybe not surprising, but what do you think about this?
Good afternoon, Brianna. It's absolutely not surprising because they want to get to a fair.
Now that power is crumbling, The empire they helped build is shaking from the inside. And it's not just about what happens next in court, it's about who's left standing when the smoke clears. So that's why Diddy panicked in court after a leaked audio tied to Jay-Z hit the room like a thunderclap. And now, what was once a private legal battle has turned into a full-blown industry earthquake. Allegations of abuse, essays, manipulation, and secret deals are surfacing fast. People are distancing themselves, trust is breaking, and Jay-Z, whether he leaked the tape or not, he's officially part of the firestorm now.
Jury, and someone who has already formed an opinion, for example, is not going to be someone that the defense is going to want to move forward with, because you are supposed to listen to what the judge says in the four corners of the room. And so when you are walking in there with an already pre-approved idea of what you think is going to happen and what you think your opinion is going to be, it is hard to be able to say that that person is going to be swayed and can be fair and impartial.
And we do have the jury questionnaire. One of the questions is, have you, a family member, or someone close to you?
So what's next? What other secrets are about to spill? Is Jay-Z quietly trying to protect himself, or does he know something that could bring it all down? And can Diddy survive what's coming? Kindly fill us in with your thoughts on these high-stakes issues, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.